What's up, girlies? Happy Sunday, and welcome back to another beautiful episode of Brunch with DESB. The B is standing for baby because the baby is still inside. If you're new here or have not listened to my podcast a lot, I am currently 38 weeks pregnant by the time you're watching this. Baby is not here yet. And honestly, in all reality, will baby be here yet? Probably not. So I'm recording this. I turned 38 weeks tomorrow. Although my sister did have her baby at 38 weeks, I'm not necessarily expecting to go that early. I just don't think it's really in my wheelhouse, okay? So I'm still pregnant. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see me. I'm wearing my Petula tuckable tee, which is just incredibly ironic because it's definitely not tucking anywhere right now. My lower belly is escaping, kind of like Winnie the Pooh. It's this beautiful mint color. I absolutely love it. These launched a few weeks ago. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys could see that on camera. This baby is rumbling and tumbling, let me tell you that. So happy Sunday. We have quite the episode locked in for you guys today. And I know I say that every single time because I have this idea in my head and this pathway that I always want to go when I talk. And at the end of the day, when I come on here to talk, I'm always just telling it how it is. This is my space where I don't have a script. I might have a few topics I want to talk about. I have some stuff laid out, but genuinely everything you always get here is very like first response, okay? Can be a positive thing, can be a negative thing, because I'm usually speaking right from the heart, right from my initial thoughts. So sometimes, maybe I don't like run through things twice. I'm like, maybe I would have approached that differently now. But that's the beauty behind having a raw and honest podcast. And if there's one thing about me, I'm always going to come correct. So luckily there is nothing I want to correct from last week's episode. If you did listen to it, we talked all about just like motherhood, how I am preparing for baby, like tiered cart items, mom things to do to get prepared, things that I have around my house to be ready for a new baby, all those things. So not a lot of housekeeping / prepping stuff to talk about. I do have a Q&A today, which I'm excited. Hopefully over the next couple days, I'm actually going to be recording my future podcast for you guys, just to kind of get ahead. Because if there is something that I would love to have happen this time, it's to be just a little bit more prepared. So I don't have to record a podcast like immediately upon having the baby come home. Now, if I missed a week or something, I know you guys would understand. And obviously right when I get home from the hospital, it's always my goal to record my birth story like right away, just because I never want to forget any details, mostly for me, not for you. Okay. So with that, kind of chatting a little bit today with some Q&A, talking a little bit. But again, if you haven't listened to last week's episode, please make sure you do that. So I did get my hair cut this past week. And by hair, I mean like my extensions, because my real hair, it's almost actually probably like down to almost my nipple, which is great. Because if you guys remember last year, literally a year ago, as of June, like 11th or something, I chopped my fucking hair off all the way up to like my ears, okay? And don't get me wrong, it was a look. I loved it. It was great. But I am definitely growing it back out just because postpartum hair loss is so fucking real. I don't want to make any dramatic decisions. So if you're a first-time mom, if you're someone listening, you're pregnant, or you're newly postpartum and it's summer and you're fucking hot and you're miserable and you're hormonal and you got night sweats, please don't cut your hair, okay? That's my one tip to new moms or like moms to be. Not the time to make a very emotional hair decision, because as much as I did not regret my hair chop, I was over a year postpartum by this point. Not the time. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to leave it right there. Not the fucking time. Okay. Now, moving forward, I do want to continue to just kind of match my hair with my extensions and see how it feels, but I did get my hair cut. So please feel free to compliment me. Sound off in the comments, okay? And outside of that, we really don't have much other things going on. I'm genuinely hunkered down. I am not going anywhere outside of like 30 minutes of my house, within probably 45 minutes of the hospital, XYZ. My biggest fear right now is that my water is going to break in bed. Now, we got a sleep number last year. That was Wyatt and I's anniversary gift to each other. We're like, we need better sleep. Sleep is a priority. Mattresses last forever, etc. Let's do this for each other. Let's do it together, right? So we got a sleep number. Best purchase I have ever made in my life. Ever made in my life. We got it on sale during Labor Day or Memorial Day. So wait, Labor Day. So if you are on the market, wait for their Labor Day sale. It was a great sale. Now, since we have gotten it, it's very nice, right? It's not that easy though to just like clean because there's like mechanics to it with the air valves and all this shit, right? I'm terrified of starting my labor on my bed, water breaking, and then my mattress is forever stained. So I did just buy a mattress protector. No matter what, should have had one on it before, right? The kids come in, they got their waters, they got their juice. We haven't had any accidents, but if we did, it would hurt. So I did order one of those. So if you're, again, first-time mom, even moms of multiple and you never really thought about it, maybe this is the time to invest in a mattress protector. I also invested in a new rest duvet comforter. Again, one of my favorite things to use postpartum, but at this point, Wyatt and I do not sleep under the same covers. He has his blankie. I have my blankie. I don't know if it's a marriage thing. I don't know if it's just a pregnancy thing. You guys tell me what you do. We like having our own little blankies. Okay, we'll cut it for a second. Then it's like, okay, disperse. You take yours, I take mine. I did get a new rest duvet comforter. Best investment as well. Perfect for postpartum sweats, perfect for night sweats, or if you're someone where you're like me and your AC just doesn't work that well in your bedroom, this is the move for you. So definitely got those two things covered. With that, the rest of my fear outside of traveling too far away from the hospital is honestly not having my hospital bags on me. So you guys will have to let me know because honestly, I haven't been here before. I've only made it to an induction where it was easy peasy. I took my luggage, didn't give a fuck. First time, showed up to the hospital with literally just my phone and my wallet. So I am proof that you can overpack and underpack and you'll be fine. However, if you're someone who has done this before and really been prepared for a, let's call it, I don't like the word natural, but let's just call it you go naturally, right? Your body just goes into labor. Spontaneous, there's the word. Do you put your hospital bags in your car? Are they in your car? Are they in your home? Are they by the door? Because like when I go to an appointment, I'm always scared that I'm going to have to like call Wyatt and be like, oh my gosh, I'm going into labor and he's going to forget all my shit. Okay. So what do you guys do? Is it important to put him into like your car? What if you end up taking the other car? I don't know. I'm just scared of putting them somewhere where they will not end up with me. Okay. I did make my nurses baskets this week, which I'm really excited for. I do have a video that I recorded on everything that I packed. And once I put them together, honestly, huge pat on the back for me. I was a little bit nervous just because I was like, did I get enough? Did I not get too much? I have a very small labor and delivery unit. So I think actually I got way too much, but that's good because other people, even on their day off, they might not be working with me, but they can still gain the reward of what I brought in. And also it's important to like thank anyone, right? Like whether you deliver my baby or someone else's, labor and delivery nurses deserve to be celebrated, So that's kind of where my week was. How are you guys? How are we doing? I don't have my water with me right now, which I'm really disappointed because I'm super parched. But we do have the new HydroJug collaboration coming out. At this point, it is out. Sorry. It had released yesterday. We had a kind of like a candy apple red. I think they ended up calling it like a firecracker or something like that. We had the rodeo. We had the brand new HydroJug Sports, which had more of like a handle up here instead of on the side. And then we had some restocks, but all new travelers, sizes, all of the things. As always, for all HydroJug, you can use code DESB for 10% off. I've been using HydroJug since, holy fuck, 2017, maybe 2016, like since I first kind of like entered into the gym atmosphere, kind of became a bodybuilder, all those things. And they've just continued to evolve. It's so cool to see them not only just have the travelers now, that was really a game changer, but also they're in like Dick's Sporting Goods, they're in Targets. Like it's really cool to be like, holy shit, like I even know the CEO, like intimately because we have worked together for so long. So it's been just really, really neat to see them grow. We do also have the new Petula that launched last week, and we have new Petula coming. Obviously, I don't want to get in trouble, so I can't tell you guys anything, but the way I fell out of my chair when I received the information, and then also the way that I was like mad because I was like, I hope I'm not pregnant still for this launch. So I did get a vast variety of sizes just so if I am still pregnant, I'm covered. Postpartum, I'm covered. Like I can wear these sizes. But then also like these are fits that I want to rock. I want to rock all summer, okay? And it's really odd because we are heading into July, and really in my head, I'm like, holy fuck, I'm pregnant half of summer in reality, right? I got really only all of July, hopefully, right? June baby, I'm manifesting I'm having a baby this week. But then I have July, August. Do we want to call it September? Kind of, because we kind of had that like Indian summer here in Michigan. So really, I only have like 3 months of summer, but that gives me at least 3 months postpartum. So I'm like, okay, the fits can be lit through the rest of summer. So that is coming soon as well. And we did have the like stadium edit drop last week. That was the tailored pant and the these tuckable tees. It was just 2 pieces, very like chic, very, you know, good for the corporate girlies, good for girlies who may be working in office, even like receptionists, you know, stuff like that. Or if you're just someone who like dresses up to like go out to drink with dinner and friends, go out to drinks with dinner and friends, goes out to eat with dinner and friends to get drinks. Hop on pop. Pop likes to hop on pop. You know, like what in the Dr. Seuss did I just say? So from there, you know, make your educated decision on, you know, do you need some more lifestyle stuff? Do you need some more athletic stuff? That's all I'll tell you is that it is athletic. It is gym wear. It is daily wear coming. Do you know what I'm saying? Are you catching my drift? Okay, very excited. That's kind of it on that front. 2 things I wanted to talk about. Number 1, as of yesterday, Justin Timberlake was, hate to say it, what goes around, comes around, goes around, you know, comes back around, because he was caught with a DWI. Now, the whole fucking day, I was so perplexed. A DWI? Driving with influence? Like driving within inferiors? Like I was literally just throwing words that started with D, W, and I together, knowing the D, you know, context clues was driving. And that was like W, probably with, right? With, and that was like I don't know, ice, you know? I was so confused. And then realizing that truly he kind of got like a DUI, driving under influence, driving while intoxicated, I believe it was. So driving, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, corrections corner, DUI, number 1 is kind of maybe an older term, like they changed it, but also DUI, driving under influence, could also mean drugs. DWI specifically means like you're driving while you're intoxicated, no questions asked. I think that's why he got a DWI. Regardless, I'm curious. I did not read into it because, you know, not really worth my time right now. However, when I did see the headlines, I was curious what he ended up like blowing, you know, like was it, there is no such thing as was it bad enough, you know, like no matter what, if you're driving under the influence, driving while intoxicated, whatever you're doing, it's bad. Okay. But at what point was he like really fucked up? Or was he like potentially tipsy? Just out of curiosity. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I mean, one is better than the other, but you know what I'm saying. He's wrong for doing it. You can put people at risk. But I was just curious, and I did not look it up. So maybe I will have to do that today because I'm nosy in that way. The other thing I want to talk about is, oh my God, ever since that motherfucking 7M documentary came out on TikTok, well, not on TikTok, came out on Netflix about TikTok. We talked about it 3 episodes ago, with that Miranda girl who like joined that 7M cult. And then she's like been making statements about like, I'm not in a cult, I'm fine. I'm like, that's exactly what you say when you're in a cult, babe, is like, oh no, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. You know, like I'm happy. It's like, just blink twice. We will save you. Okay. Ever since then, she is all over my For You page on fucking Facebook. Not Instagram, not TikTok, on Facebook, which is also weird because Facebook owns Instagram. So you would think it'd be both, but regardless, she's only showing up on my Facebook. I don't watch Facebook Reels. I have this weird thought process behind people who get stuck on Facebook Reels or YouTube Shorts. Like, I just don't think you're human. Like, what are you doing if you are searching YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels? Like, what kind of people are you? You know, because that's not where I spend my time. So I'm just curious. I'm like, what kind of person are you? There's got to be a scientific study on, are you someone who watches TikTok all the time, Instagram Reels all the time, Facebook Reels, or YouTube Shorts? Like, there's got to be some scientific evidence of the different type of people that watch different type of content. Similar content, different platform, right? So anyway, she's been everywhere, and I'm just like, girl, what made you come here? Like, because now all I'm seeing is her and her, I think they're, right, husband, still married. So anyways, I just didn't know if any of you guys have been infiltrated with the 7M cult. Because, yeah, they are a cult, you know? God, how is that so hard to comprehend for some people? I know it's 2024, but, like, you're in a cult, you know? I would even argue a certain level of, like, Disney adults are in, like, a cult. I would argue certain levels of religion are very cultish. Example, Scientology, you know what I mean? An example, 7M, the fucking Shekinah church or whatever. Yeah, like, it's a cult, you know? It's a group of people following a said leader. That leader could be Mickey Mouse. And then they do whatever that leader says. Can you imagine Mickey Mouse being made into, like, a cult leader? Like a Charles Manson. And he's just, hi, you kids. Let's all take some poison. Like, that would be such a fucked up remake of, like, a Disney movie to create Mickey into that. Do not twist my Mickey like that, okay? Lots to dive into that we could get into pop culture, but I will tell you, I am really enjoying my current binge of Vanderpump Rules, okay? I'm almost at the end of season 6. I'm almost at 7. Remind you, I took, like, what would have been like a year off of watching. It just got way too much for me because of Jax Taylor. And I am currently at the end of season 6. And I will tell you, I'm not, like, over it because it's not, like, too much for me right now. I feel like I can handle it. But Jax has a fucking problem. You know what I mean? And I know we all know this if you watch Vanderpump Rules. But to see his continued behavior and even dating back to 2017, how is he not being helped, you know? Now, I don't know what happens from 18, 19, 20 to now. But at this point in time, he is 38 years old, right? So much going on that we needed to get help with, you know? And that's not even, like, that's for me also being just, like, concerned. Like, he needs more help mentally. And it's sad that he, at this time, did not receive that. He's going to, like, at this point in the season, he's going to, like, a Reiki girl. Babe, that's not, like, a therapist, though, you know? And I know he was going to go back to therapy during this time, but he hasn't. So anyways, he cheated on Brittany. He just, like, dumped Brittany for no reason. And that's kind of, like, the gist of the season. Besides Sheena being way obsessed with Rob. Oh my God, this is the worst, like, love story ever. They are so annoying. Patrick and Stassi, I think, breaking up. And then Tom, the bar is just about to open, which is kind of fun because when I was in California last, what would it have been, August, I believe, with Alani, we shot for Witch's Brew, which I can't believe it's already almost that time again for the energy drink to come back out. We shot for Witch's Brew, and we actually went to Tom and Sir. So it's always cool to see it, but especially now being at the timeline where Tom was being created, and then now knowing it's still, like, thriving and it changed these people's lives, like, it's pretty cool. So we're kind of in this evolution for them. I think things are going to start taking off. And I even told Wyatt, I cannot wait to see their lives continue to change, because right now they're still kind of living in, like, just apartments, which are still probably, like, $3,000 a month, right? Like, still ridiculous. But I can't wait to see them take that next level and, like, start to live the luxury lifestyle that they all end up earning. You know, like, I want to see that happen. So I'm excited. I love watching rich people. Like, is it just me? You know, like, some people, I feel like it can be triggering almost, or, like, you know, oh, like, fuck the rich. That's not fair, whatever. And, you know, I get it. You know, it's hard to watch people live a life that is quite literally so out of reach from you. When you're maybe struggling day to day, or, like, holy shit, I mean, look at the cost of living right now, XYZ. Totally get it. However, if I come across people that just, like, own the fact that, like, I'm fucking rich and I'm wealthy, like, sorry, I can still stand for that. You know, like, I will intake their content. And at that point, I almost have found that, like, I just intake it more out of, like, curiosity, not necessarily, like, something that'll, like, piss me off or make me jealous. And, you know, I wouldn't even say it inspires me. Like, I saw this, I think I was on Hayden's story the other day. He put a poll up, and it was like, if you could genuinely change your life with someone, like, truly put yourself in the position right now. Someone asked you, Do you want to change your life with blank? Kylie Jenner, Justin Bieber, Hailey Baldwin, Selena Gomez, like anyone, Taylor Swift. Would you actually give up your life to live theirs? Like, my answer was genuinely no. Like, no. Like, I would never trade what I have, you know? And so I don't necessarily get like jealous or really even inspired by that stuff anymore, because I've become so much more in tune and just happy with my current reality. You know, doesn't mean every day is perfect. Doesn't mean we have to celebrate, you know, all the hard things. Doesn't mean, oh, toxic positivity, you know, no. But at the end of the day, when I fall down on my pillow or plump over, roll over, whatever the fuck is going on right now, I genuinely would not want to be, what is it, Selena? I wouldn't want to be anybody else. Na 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 na. That's me, you know? So it doesn't mean that every day is going to be perfect, but regardless, I like watching rich people. I'm intrigued by their lifestyle. There are multiple times a week where I will sit down and I genuinely will be like, I wonder what Kylie Jenner is doing right now. I don't know why she's always the one that pops in my head. She lives rent-free in my mind. I think it's because she's so public but secretive, but also, I don't know. I love Kylie. I don't know. Anyways, let me know, okay? You guys will have to let me know. Last little update I'll give you before we get into some Q&As is that we do still have the BFit membership special going on for this month only, okay? So if you are a current member and you're listening to this, I try to put in every caption and stuff. Please email team@desbfittraining.com for support. Because if this is a deal you want to take advantage of, I'm not going to tell you no, okay? But I can't read your mind, so you got to reach out to me, okay? But for new people, new members as well, we are doing a special this month only. If you use the code in all caps, 1 year, you get $12 off for 12 months of the membership, meaning your membership is $17. If you decide to pay for an annual membership, you will get $160 off, making your membership, and again, you're paying in full up front, but $15 a month, okay? It's only till the end of the month. As I've mentioned, we do have some evolution coming with the membership, nothing of which, let me say it like this, nothing of which that is not fucking worth $17. Okay, if anything, it's worth more, but where I want to kind of take the membership and what I'm kind of picturing in my head to create a more universal experience that I think I've continued to just like learn and evolve into is going to be just different. I want it to be more of a plethora of like plans and options and like many things for you guys to do, stuff like that. Okay, so that's where we're heading. Just like anything, and just like any type of business, you just got to figure it out, you know? So if you're also like a new business owner, you want to start a business, you just got to fucking figure it out. And that's kind of what I did with the BFit membership. I had this idea in my head, and at the end of the day, it's been going great for a year. Like, I fucking love it, but you're always forward thinking. How can I now get better? Or what did I learn to now provide context to now, you know, like stuff like that. And so that's where I've kind of been in a position of like continuing to learn, is like, you have to be able to adjust and adapt. And in order to create something that you're also continuously proud of, you know, no one should have it figured out on the first go. It should always be changing. You know, it's always good indication of growth and like taking a step back, evaluating, having an open mind, and being able to say, ooh, I want to be able to do this better, or whatever it might be, right? So membership special this month only. And yeah, let's dive into some questions. Before we get into it, this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. I talk about BetterHelp a lot, seeing as it's benefited me ever since COVID hit. Most people think that in order to be in therapy or go to therapy, you have to be in this like unbearable state of mind or extremely depressed, when in reality, therapy is a tool to utilize before things get worse, help you avoid the lows, and honestly, even just celebrate the highs. BetterHelp is an online customized therapy program that offers video, phone chat, live chat, so you don't have to even see anyone on camera if you don't want to. You don't have to report to an office, and you could just be in the comfort of nursing your baby in, maybe not the middle of the night, but nursing your baby in private and being able to have someone to talk to during it. It's very therapeutic, it's very customizable, and way more affordable than most in-person therapy. So you can get matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. So give it a try. use code DESB at checkout or go to betterhelp.com/DESB to get 10% off of your first month. I hope that you guys enjoy it just as much as I do. And honestly, sometimes even just a pop back in for a month here and there is very helpful in and of itself. I can't say that I've been on track for being in therapy for longer than 4 months in the past couple of years, just because life has gotten busy, but to have that to consistently go back to is really great, really convenient, and very affordable. So use BetterHelp code DESB for 10% off your first month. So I just put this up on my Instagram like a couple hours ago. So we do have trust me, we have plenty of questions, but if you're someone who like responded to this late, sadly, I probably just like won't get to your question. But if you ever want to leave me a ask for advice or a tell me a secret, you can do that in the link in bio, description box, show notes, wherever you're at below. If you want to tell me a secret, you can do that. It's always anonymous. If you want to ask for advice, you can do that. It's always anonymous as well. We get a plethora of questions too, and a plethora of like secrets. It doesn't have to be something like super steamy. It also doesn't have to be something like crazy or intricate. It could just be something that you want to get off your chest that we kind of talk about, whatever it might be. So have fun. Fire away, okay? Names for baby that you like. Hints to what you choose for boy or girl. This is fun. Names for babies that you like. Oh my gosh, I don't want to give all of them away. Okay, here's one I don't think we're going to use. But for a boy, I've always really loved the name Oliver. That's what Archie's name was supposed to be. Archie was supposed to be Oliver Quinn. And then we named him Archie Quinn. My sister texted me and she was like, what about Archie? Like Meghan and Harry, like Meghan Markle and Harry the Prince. They have an Archie. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. I looked at Wyatt and I was like, what about Archie? And he was like, wait, I love that. And it was literally on the spot. We were like, that's his fucking name. I think I had to have been probably just around 20 weeks pregnant, like anatomy scan, confirmed boy, whatever. And that was one name I've always really liked. I've always loved the name Finn. Again, nothing that we're probably going to use, so I'm not ruining anything. Let me actually pull up my name list because this is fun. Okay, for a boy or girl, I do like the name Sawyer. Probably, again, will not use. These are ones I'm not using. Feel free. I do like the name for a boy, Webster. I know it's different, okay? I know it's different, but it is, something about it is cute. I do like the name Shay. Again, I feel like that's universal, boy or girl. I like the name Vincent. I like a good V, okay? V. I like a good V. Sounds weird. I think the name Barrett is cute. And then for girls, I really think the name Bex is cute. Bex, just B-E-X. Or B-E-C-S. Well, I guess you'd maybe want to call it Rebecca then. I try to not choose names that are just nicknames. You know what I'm saying? So like Bex, maybe if it made sense, I would rather name them Bexley and call them Bex. Do you know what I'm saying? I love the name Josie. I know a Josie, and she was so cute and so sweet. So I think the name is very cute. Will not use. I love the name Layla. Charlotte. My great grandma was Charlotte. And that is just, I feel like such a timeless, gorgeous name. I love the name Scarlett as well. Shay, again, like I said, universal. The name Eileen. Like, come on, Eileen. Okay, wouldn't use, but I think that one is kind of cute too. I like the name Isla. Love the name Lennon. I don't think we would use it. We have a different front runner. And the rest of them I'm going to keep secret because I have a few. I can't really give you any hints, but I will tell you. Here's the thing. You have to think about my other kids' names. Maddox, M-A-T-I-X, and then Archie, which is Archie. They're like fun names, right? So I can't just throw in Maddox, Archie, Noah. Maddox, Archie, Katie. Do you know what I'm saying? I got to get a little bit funsy. And that's already my vibe anyway, but I will never go Southern blogger on you, okay? You're not going to see like a Shayla, Dayla, Nayla. Like it's going to be a name that makes sense, but it is a little funsy, okay? That's a fun question. Someone also said, by the way, just I just thought it was funny. 35 weeks currently in line at Starbucks for a matcha because I was getting a matcha this day. I have loved the Starbucks matcha. The oat milk lavender matcha has had my heart. Someone asked, where did Wyatt learn to cook? So happy he isn't gatekeeping these talents. He has always loved food. Like he's always there for flavor. Like he's a very flavorful guy. We'll go out to eat, especially when we go out for like sushi or something. And we will always talk like palate. Like we'll be like, oh my gosh, this has such a, like we're like food diagnosing our food. We're like, this has such a good like umami taste, and like, ooh, do you get that subtle hint after that first bite? Like we love to intimately discuss our food. And so he's always been a very flavorful guy. He's always loved trying new foods. He's always the person where you make your order and then it all comes out from the to the table and you're like, fuck, I should have got what you got. Like he always knows what to get. I always end up having bites of his food. So with that, he just got really passionate about it when he started working from home versus like being in the office, and has just kind of continued to learn from there. He watches a lot of like Gordon Ramsay. We always have watched a lot of Food Channel stuff. And I think he just kind of learned from there, just kind of how different things can be seared and cooked and whatever. And he loves his food tasting good. So he'll go out of his way to make sure our family's food tastes good. You know what I mean? Like he definitely doesn't like me cooking. Let me tell you that. I grew up in like a flavorless household. We were powered by like the Schwann's man and like TV dinners. He had a mom that cooked and even a dad that cooked when he was home. I did not. So my shit sucks. Literally, it's so bad. He takes that role and he loves having the role. Or else his food's tasting like shit and he knows it. Do you think you'll want a fourth baby after this positive pregnancy, or do you feel done? That's a great question because, I mean, you guys can definitely talk shit about me. It's totally fine. I 100% was so like, I'm done after this baby, like, meaning Archie. And I obviously was not. We made the decision that we did want a third kid at some point, probably like September of 2022. So Archie was born in May, and by September, I was like, I know he's not the last one. They always tell you, like, look around your table. Who do you want to see at Thanksgiving? You know, like, and I was just like, when I would look around at my table, quote unquote, I was like, there's room for another, you know, like it just doesn't feel complete with two. And I don't know why. It was just a really odd feeling that I had. And some people like never have that, and that's fine too. Some people end up wanting like 10. Now that is definitely not me. Thinking about a fourth, we have thought about it. We've talked about it. Because at the end of the day, when you are older, what do you have? The answer is family. You know, you have family. God willing, you have a good relationship with everyone, you know. And that is important to me. Family has always been very important to me. Wyatt is an only child, and he has always been very passionate about having a big family. And he voiced that to me. He was the one who wanted 3 kids. Like, from when we were 20 and just talking about it, right? Like, I was like, how many kids do you want? He was always the one that said 3. I was always the one that argued 2. Roller coaster rides, car rides, plane rides. You're always by each other, you know, all the things. It just makes sense. You have one hand, you have an extra hand, you know, whatever. So to say that we're done after 3, I'm very confident in. I feel like this was such a healing experience for me. I feel fulfilled. I had this experience also where I didn't find out what the baby was. Like, everything that could have gone correct up until this point is correct, you know, and is exactly what I wanted. In a delusional way, I knew I would get what I wanted. You know what I mean? Like, I deserved this. And so I feel very at peace right now. He is planning to get a vasectomy. We are planning to actually go through with it this time. If you guys didn't know, last time he had a vasectomy planned, we canceled it the day before. He put down his down deposit and everything that we didn't get back, and we canceled it the day before he was supposed to go. It just didn't feel right. He texted me in the middle of a workout, and he was like, I don't think I can do this tomorrow. Like, I'm not scared. I just don't think it's the right decision. And I side with that. So I do feel complete. I do feel finished. I think that the want of a baby the morning of kind of that chapter being over in your life. You know, we go so many years trying to prevent pregnancy. And then when you realize, wow, like snap of a finger, I'm done. I'm done having babies. I'm now raising them. It is sad. So I think as mothers, as women, we can always mourn that chapter passing and, you know, look at a baby and be like, oh, I miss that. And like, it has hit me now in the past couple weeks. I'm like, I'm going to like miss being pregnant. Like, I feel like this pregnancy specifically is one of those pregnancies that I can genuinely be that annoying bitch who is like, I loved being pregnant. I loved it. You know, like that was me this pregnancy. Ask me my other two. I can't say I did as much, you know, like I was feeling all different emotions. This pregnancy, I've just been like, oh my God, I'm so proud of this body. I've loved documenting it. I've loved taking pictures with it. I've loved taking videos with it. Like it's been a different experience. So I just feel so healed and I don't want to fuck that up with another pregnancy and like taint this experience too. Does that make sense? I almost feel like, hey, I rolled the dice. I got exactly what I wanted to heal with. Let's take it for what it is. You know? So long-winded answer, but I hope some of you can also kind of relate to that of just being done having children and learning to be just in the season of raising them. Will you be showing the baby's face or keeping it private like Archie Tarchie? So if you guys didn't know, or again, if you're new here, I actually did not share Archie for like 3 months. It was all like, you know, back of the head, cute poses, but you didn't see him, okay? And then one day I hard launched him. I didn't make like a big fucking deal about it. I just put him in a reel with me, and there he was. I don't know how I'm going to do this baby, and I don't think everyone has to have like the same experience or answer. The reason I felt so protective over Archie was because of people who thought that his diagnosis was like fraudulent, his CPAM, and it was very real and it was very traumatic for me. And so at that point in time, I was so emotional, I was so hormonal, and also just mama bear. I was like, I don't want anyone to experience him then except me. That was half of it. That was probably like 60% of why. The 40% was that he was planned to be my last baby. And I really just wanted every intimate moment for myself during that period of time. I've shared photos of him when he was a newborn. It's not that I don't want people to know what he looked like. It was just for me during that time. I just wanted my piece to just be his only, you know, and our family be his only. With this baby, there's no right or wrong. I didn't do it out of like protecting my child, like thinking that it would go on the dark web. It was a personal decision at that point of just protecting my peace and energy. I think as we've continued to learn a little bit more about like child safety online, XYZ, everyone feels their own way about it. You know, I would never try to put my children in positions where they could be edited or seen in a sexualized way, right? I only have 2 boys. So how would I be sharing a little girl on the internet? I don't know. Like, I don't know. And I think as parents, we're all just navigating that. We didn't even fucking grow up with the internet like our age, right? So it's like, we're just figuring it out. But I don't think I would not share him out of the sake of like, I'm taking my kids off the internet. Because at the end of the day, for me, my content isn't about my kids. My content's about me. Sometimes my family is in it because they are a part of my life. To be like just mommy blogger only, that's not what I do. So I feel confident and very comfortable in the way that I organically share my family. To say that I'm going to hide this baby, quote unquote, you know, I'm not sure. I'm going to vibe it out. You know, I can't say I have a game plan. I'm going to do what feels right for me. And I know you guys all respect it, but that is a good question because yes, I did, you know, I did keep Archie to myself. Did you ever have preeclampsia? No, I did not. I'm very grateful, but my first diagnosis with Maddox, why he came early, I had chorioamnitis. So it's like an infection of your placenta. There's no really way to know how you get it. You can't, you know, it's not like you could backtrack like, oh yeah, it was that one time I wiped or like something crazy, you know, it's just bacteria got through the vagina into the uterus and basically infected my placenta. It then saw the placenta as something it needed to attack and to get out. So then it forced me into spontaneous labor at 31 weeks. So that's why I had Maddox early. I'd never had preeclampsia, but I did have chorioamnitis. Any reason why I can't drop the last 5 pounds breastfeeding despite slowly dropping calories? There are so many reasons, to be honest. Sometimes the body will hold on to it until breastfeeding is over. I have a few clients who have that same kind of stubborn couple pounds, just due to breastfeeding and their body just kind of hanging on to it because it needs it in order to produce, and that's okay. Sometimes though, and what I think, not even sometimes, a lot of times, I think what a lot of people forget is that for some women going through pregnancy, your body composition can change so much. So for a lot of women, you can lose muscle during pregnancy because maybe you're not as active, you're not lifting as heavy, you're being very cautious, and you gain body fat, okay? So when we then lose the pregnancy weight and we come back down, maybe that 5 pounds now is weight that is just fat cells that you've never had before because you have lost muscle. So that recomp of your body, that weight could look different for you, I guess, than what, we're kind of striving for. So when a lot of clients come to me and they're like, I want to get back down to my pre-pregnancy weight, for many it can still be done, but that doesn't mean that our body is going to look still like our pre-pregnancy body, right? And that can still be something to really be difficult to let go of. The idea and the thought of getting back to that. And it does take time. So depending on your postpartum journey, depending on where your calories are at, your outputs at, your activity levels, currently what your intake is, what your output is daily, as well as your BMR, there's so many things. So for me, or for like anyone to answer that question of why you can't, there's so much involved with it. And that's why one-on-one coaching in general, macro consultations, like all these things, nutrition consultations, are so powerful because I can't give you that answer, but I guarantee you if we talked for 45 minutes, I would be able to give you that answer, but like to go off of a Instagram story, I can't. But I hope that can at least maybe give you a little bit of an idea. Also, like, give yourself grace, just take some of these thoughts, take them out into your own context and go, okay, yeah, how am I sleeping? There's so much. Sleep affects a fucking lot too, especially if you're not sleeping like with a new baby. What would you do with $5 million? Let me tell you, I would not be here anymore. That's probably the first thing I would do. Genuinely, maybe not though, because I do love what I do here. Like, I love being on the internet. I love talking to you guys. I love sharing things. I love making you guys feel seen and like understood and just another like relatable person. Like, I'm not fucking perfect and I never will be. I've made plenty of mistakes. I've done plenty of great things. I've done plenty of bad things. And it is what it is. We're all human. We're all just human navigating this life, right? So I can't say I would remove myself from the internet because I also care for you guys. Like, I'd still want to show up, but I would definitely put myself in a financial position to invest that money elsewhere where it can continue to grow for me, to where when I'm ready to remove myself off the internet, or like I could take a step back, I could not like work, obviously, be with my kids. I think I would put it more towards my future self. And by future self, even I mean like my 20-year from now self. I'm going to keep grinding in my current day, but like knowing what I have to have in the future. So like buying some homes, real estate, putting things in like IRAs, stock markets, like things like that, where things are going to continue to, that 5 million then is 10. Financial literacy is the most important thing for me. I would then probably also buy all my family a home and like have us all be together, for sure. Not like in one home, but like a cul-de-sac or something, like we would all like have like walking paths to each other's houses. That would probably be like a dream of mine. And I would definitely buy a G-Wagon. That would be my one depreciating cost that I would make, is buying myself a G-Wagon, because that has been my dream car since probably since I could even drive. Like I had a Scion XB, like, like the little toaster car, they call it. That was my favorite car ever. I love a square look to a car. I don't know why. It just is. I just love it. So the first time I saw a G-Wagon, I was probably maybe 18, 17. I was in Las Vegas with my dad. And I was like, like, what is that? And that would be my one thing. So yeah. Oh my gosh, what would you do with $5 million? what would a lot of people do? Like, I wish I just would know. Sometimes when I see the people who win the jackpot, I'm like, holy fuck, your life just changed. Regardless of how much you have to pay in taxes on that money, the money that you still take home is life-changing. And it's crazy that people get to experience that off like the lottery. Like, I can see why people play the lottery, like, for real. Because one good day can change your whole life. Someone else just says, I think it's a girl, which it's funny. Just, I went to my prenatal appointment last week, and the doctor was like, I just confirmed. I was like, hey, can you just make sure that there's a note on my account that, like, I don't fucking know the gender. Please don't ruin it for me. I have a dreadful fear of showing up for labor and delivery, and whoever comes in and they're like, are we ready to deliver this blank? You know, like, I want to just make it so fucking clear that I do not know the gender. Please don't ruin it. So anyway, she confirmed that, and she was like, what do you think it is? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I really don't. I go back and forth each day. Like, some days, like yesterday, it was all boy. Today, it's like all girl. But then she told me, she's like, I think it's a girl, honey. And she's like younger. She's just really sweet. And I was like, maybe it is. Fuck. Like, so again, it's like, it is, at the end of the day, it is truly 50-50. And I will say I did get pregnant off of a pullout. Like, no, I swear to you, nothing inside. I fucking swear. Okay. But from what I've read and what some of my friends have told me too, and it's like kind of like wives' tale, but supposedly pull out babies are usually girls. So I don't know. We'll see. We will like quite literally see here soon. But no matter what, again, I feel so healed and fulfilled. I just don't even care what it is. Babies are so fucking cute. And I can't wait to see mine, like, regardless. Because I don't even know what it could look like, right? I have no idea, like, girl or boy. I'm like, I couldn't even put a face on you. I'm so excited. Oh my God. Are you having a scheduled C-section? No, I'm not. As of right now, full vagina ahead. Full vag. Full vag ahead. We will see. Only 6 weeks in first pregnancy. What is your number one tip in trying to stay healthy food-wise? Dude, don't ask me, because honestly, in every pregnancy pretty much, my first trimester was filled with McDonald's breakfasts, cereal, and like any fucking carb possible. Like, honestly, I was doing nothing but like eating carbs. I tried to always maintain protein. I think that's one thing now in my third pregnancy that I did so much better. And I really will say it made a difference. I didn't do it every single day, but I would definitely try to check myself a few times a week of like tracking my protein intake for the day. Not that I was like meticulous about it, but I would try to mindfully be like, okay, maybe 20 breakfast. Okay, I had maybe 40 for lunch. Okay, how much am I at this? You know, okay, well, I'll do another 20 here. I just at least made a mindful approach to my protein intake. Some days it would be like 100 something, like 110. Other days I could hit like 150, 160. So I think maintaining like a good level of protein intake has been such a game changer for me. It's also just important for the body in general, but while you're growing a human, it can be helpful. I did not do like a lot of chicken. I did a lot of like bare chicken nuggets. I did a lot of like yogurt. I did some protein shakes. I would do eggs mixed with egg whites or just eggs in general, lean beef here and there, protein pasta, stuff like that. I didn't just like eat bare, like just like eat fucking chicken all day. Okay. Like there's plenty of ways to get protein in without giving you the ick. And I definitely cracked the fucking code, but that'd be my number one tip. And also like find something that really tastes good to you. So like for me, my first trimester as well, I did a lot of yogurt bowls with like some granola, raspberries, honey on top. Like it doesn't mean it has to be like super like low calorie. It's just something that gave me a lot of nutritional value and that I really enjoyed that as well. So instead of like doing a ton of ice cream, my first trimester, I did do a lot of cereal, but I did a lot of yogurt bowls too. And that kind of gave me that sweet treat that I also just genuinely enjoyed at that time. Are you worried about how the boys will adjust to baby swirly? Not really, to be honest. I think they're in a pretty good space to understand. If anything, I feel like they're going to be like hyper obsessed and I'm almost going to have to watch them more. Like I'm almost more worried about them thinking they can just pick it up when maybe they shouldn't. You know what I mean? That's what I'm more worried about. I'm worried about them like wanting to be too involved to where if I like turn around, they're like holding the baby without its head supported. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm more worried about. I think that they're going to be very, very open and receptive. They hang out with their cousins all the time. And I think they've been around enough kids that like they enjoy other people's company. So I think they'll kind of like not even understand and be like, yay, whatever. But also we'll see. I don't know. I missed the story about why you moved homes. Would love to hear how settling in is going. So we moved homes so that we could be closer to family. It genuinely just happened out of nowhere. Like it really just, the pieces fell into place. We were looking into other homes and viewing homes purely to just want to remodel our kitchen. So we would start going to these open houses, like just for funsies, to kind of get some inspo. And we saw this one home available and we were like, holy fuck, let's go see it. Still not really entertaining the fact that we would move. It just was like, in my mind, I was like, Wyatt was just kind of like, yeah, like more inspo, whatever. And we ended up walking out. Wyatt like ran the numbers and he was like, if you like this and I like this, because I do, it makes sense for us. Because again, we were going to sink so much money into remodeling the kitchen that it was like, okay, kitchen versus down payment. We work with a very small bank. So like our interest rate personally made sense versus maybe like a bigger commercial bank, stuff like that. Like everything just made sense. So that's why we moved. And again, to be closer to family, I cannot express how much it just like worked out. It was not something we had planned to do. We did like genuinely love our house. Like we were fine. Again, we were planning to upgrade it, like we wanted to put some love into it. And then at the end of the day, it was just like, okay, put love into the home and cap it out here and never get our, quote, monies back or return even when we sell it, or put it into this home that's already like what we would need, And so it just worked out with just the space for the kids. At the time we had just found out we were pregnant again, and it just fell into place. Settling in has been going awesome. We were able to have so much family help, just unboxing, unloading, painting, doing all these things. It genuinely could not had gone smoother. So thank you for asking. But yeah, settling in has been going great. We do not see ourselves moving from this home. And it's one of those first places we have been in truly that we have been like, yeah, we're not like, I'm not fucking leaving, like Wolf of Wall Street energy. Like I'm not fucking leaving. It's great. We have great neighbors. They have a fucking amazing pool too. Like shout out to our neighbors. I'm not going to out you here, but like, dude, slay. They're so fucking nice. Like, it just feels nice to be in a community that they just are fucking nice. That's all I can say. I'm very grateful. So thank you for asking. Antsy as fuck to train hard. Vaginal birth at 36 week, 3 days. No tears. Walked into postpartum unit. I feel amazing. It's hard not to work out. I feel so good. When do you start working out postpartum? Basically just asking with, walking, pelvic floor workouts, etc. So the 6 week mark is bullshit at the end of the day. Okay. Like for some people, they need more time. For some people, they don't need as much time. It's all about gauging your personal body and also understanding like what happens to the body as you are going through postpartum. So your mind is always going to be prepared before your body. To be 2 to 3 weeks postpartum and sit down on a bench and do dumbbell arm curls and overhead press. And again, I'm talking very like light weights. To just simply move weights, you're not going to keel over and die, okay? It's when we get into the point of getting way too much blood pumping, when we get to the point of potentially prolapsing our uterus, having way too much pressure down there when we are not healed, etc. And again, even if we feel healed, I promise you, the body's not healed. If you want to do a seated 10-minute arm workout or something, again, you're fine if that scratches that itch for you. But when it comes to really working out, like I want to do a typical program, I want to do 2 sets of 10 of this and then 3 sets and then a superset of this. Take your time. That's all I'm saying. Take your time. You would much rather train your body to recover correctly than train your body to then wreck it again. It's so important during that time to utilize it and also just take care of yourself. Like give yourself that R&R, that you deserve. So probably for me by like 2 to 3 weeks postpartum, I'll be doing, pelvic floor stuff, core stuff here and there, maybe do some banded things, very lightweight arm workouts, but I'm not putting a lot of pressure in my nether regions. Okay. I'm Probably going to be focusing there on some very easy body weight support movements. Again, using functional stability for core and pelvic floor while getting like some ass squeezes in, whatever. But I'm not dropping it low in a barbell squat. All right. So to each their own, everyone is very different. But if you pick up a dumbbell at 3 weeks postpartum and you do 10 dumbbell curls, your uterus and your vagina is not going to fall out. You know what I mean? It's all about proper approach and being realistic too, that, when you're doing a dumbbell curl, I'm not grabbing probably the 15-pound weights like I would, or to 20s. I'm just going to grab the 5s or the 10s and just start getting a little bit of blood flow pumping. I'm not going for a HIIT workout. I'm not riding a bike. I'm just utilizing natural movement. And again, that's where I fall really hard into advocating for the idea of movement over workout. It might not be a workout, might not be strength training, but we are moving our body. Okay, last 2 questions. Gosh, there's so many. I'm going to screenshot these so we can do a little bit more, even maybe postpartum, because these are really good questions. One person does ask, what are you most nervous with for 3 under 4? Oh, fuck. Even you just saying that makes me terrified. I think it's honestly more so for me, the listening, because Maddox is starting to listen very well. He's starting to understand, he's starting to speak back, etc. Archie is not listening well. We are learning. We're on a learning curve with him. And they both can orchestrate pretty good sentences, well, especially Maddox, but Archie is getting there to be able to also voice what do they need, so that's a good stage to be in. I like the fact that I can look at Maddox and go, hey, what's hurting? And he can say, my belly hurts, or it hurts here, or I want this, or I am hungry for this. Archie, like I said, is also, he's getting there. So if I say what is wrong, he will tell me. That's a nice stage to be in. So that does take away a little bit of the edge, but the biggest thing for me is listening, just because if I picture myself out and about by myself, say I'm baby wearing, say Archie's running to the left, Maddox running to the right, there's a car coming, blah, 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 blah. That's a lot to manage when you have little tiny children. So that's probably what I'm most nervous about, is the listening aspect, the obedience aspect, if you want to call it that, just because so much can happen in a fucking blink of an eye, and safety is top priority for me. The other thing I'm probably nervous about is just going anywhere and having to fucking pack for 3 kids. Maddox is pretty self-sufficient, but I did just recently buy a big trunk organizer. I'm going to put it together actually tonight, and I'm going to do a video on it on Instagram, on my reels, just for some things I'm always going to keep in my car, because I feel like going out with 3 kids for the first time, or even more kids if you have them, it's that first time out where you're like, fuck, I didn't pack this. And at the end of the day, I am over 2 years removed from a new baby. So I don't necessarily even remember all the things that I need into a diaper caddy or into a trunk organizer, whatever. So I do want to have something that's when I go out, I make sure I have a little bit of everything. The sleep aspect, I'm a little bit worried about, just because of naturally newborn sleep, but the other 2 kids, Archie and Maddox, they sleep really well. So I think that will surprise me. I'm manifesting it. But for me, I think, like I said, the biggest thing would probably be the listening piece, and just the safety behind it. Okay, a few more questions, because these are just really good. Someone did ask about my boob job in breastfeeding and pregnancy. I've genuinely never saw a difference. Now, I will say, after last pregnancy with Archie, my titties get huge. I will fucking say that right now. My boobies get so fucking big. I'm not looking forward to that when the milk comes in. Holy shit. I go to a triple D. Nonetheless, what would the next one be? An H or an E? F, G, H? I don't know. Do they go by numbers in alphabetical order? I don't remember. Anyway, my boobs get huge. Okay. So that is a downfall. I don't even have big implants. My implants bring me to probably a full B, a juicy B cup, nonetheless, a small C. That's my implant size, pretty much, right? I think I have 325 cc's. Not that it matters. Cc's look different on everybody. But I will say, after I breastfed Archie, I was really self-conscious in the way they looked, because they were still very deflated. You know what I mean? I had a lot of loose skin. I went in for a consult actually to even get an explant, because I was like, okay, maybe it's just my time to not have boobs anymore. But because I have such low body fat at this time, postpartum, they were, the only option for me was genuinely to get my implants taken out, and that was it. Like, take them out, stitch it up. There was no opportunity to lift, no skin removal unless I wanted massive fucking scars. That was pretty disheartening to hear. With that being said, I will be very transparent. I do plan on getting my boobs done probably within 2 years. I want to be done breastfeeding. I want my body to kind of, return to normal so I know what I'm working with. But I will be definitely getting my implants redone. There used to be like a 10-year rule, like every 10 years you get new implants. With the way that implant technology is nowadays, you don't have to unless there is an issue. That's how my doctor, and he's board certified, very well known, Dr. Stephen Ringler out of Grand Rapids. That's what he told me. So I will be probably getting my boobs done in 2 years. I had no effects on my breast milk production. I had great breast milk production. I do have implants under the muscle. Again, I don't know if it really matters for breast milk production, but I had great experiences, great latches, great letdowns, great everything. You would not have known, I guess, for lack of better terms, that my boobs are fake, but it definitely wreaked havoc on my implants after. So I had them back in 2018 when I wasn't even, honestly, I didn't even want to be a mom. So I did get my boobs done at that time because I genuinely didn't plan to have kids. But I will say I love my implants, and during pregnancy, they look so fucking juicy. It's just they get fucking huge postpartum. That's not fun. So yeah, I will definitely be getting my boobs redone. In said time. Okay, last question, I promise, because this is just a really good one. I'm so nervous to have a second baby. How will I love them as much as my first? Oh my gosh, this is why I want to answer this, is because this is such a real fear. And I remember feeling this way even when I got another dog at one point in my life. Like when I had Jax and then I got Reggie, which, by the way, Jax is alive and well. He lives with my mother-in-law still, and she just has a rootin' tootin' time with him. She's newly divorced in the past couple of years, traveling, doing her own thing, and she loves having him as a companion. He is thriving, I will tell you that. So when I got Jax and then I got Reggie, I even felt bad then. So then you take it into the consideration of a human child. It is quite alarming. I remember just crying probably the last month of pregnancy, like on and off, because I would think of exactly that. I was like, how am I going to love this baby? I love this baby, but do I love this baby? Oh my gosh, whatever. And when Archie came out, I think I even referenced this a few podcasts ago. I remember my first emotion was, first off, like, I love you so much. You're so cute. You're so perfect. I had never seen a baby that big because Maddox was 4 pounds and Archie was, what was he, like 7.5? Obviously, Maddox being 31 weeks, Archie being 39. Huge difference, quite literally. So I remember being like, oh my God, like this came out of me, holy fuck. And then my first thought was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to show Maddox. And that was the immediate thing for me that I was like, this is life. Your heart truly just expands tenfold. Like, even when I look at them now, I feel so bad for every time that I've asked my mom, like, do you have a favorite? I know Michaela is your favorite, or, who's your favorite kid, Mom? I mean, it's such a kid thing to say, but like, what a fucked up thing for me to say, because now being a mom, I could never fucking say, this kid is my favorite. You're my favorite. No, there is the way that my heart is so fucking split equally for all the men in my life, my husband, my kids. It's so special. It's the weirdest phenomenon. Like, cause yeah, you think, how would I ever love something more? And then you just do. And it's like the coolest experience ever to just see your heart live outside your body. And that sounds so chuggy and so dumb, but the feeling of meeting another child, I feel like you could just never get over the love that just continues to expand, and I know one day I will feel that when I see my children, God willing, have children, right? When I become a grandma, it's like, I feel like your heart just splits over and over again. Like it's just so special. So the fear is so valid because, again, I had the same fear. And I will say, this pregnancy, I definitely don't. Like, I don't. I've already seen it happen. I know it's going to happen. I can't wait to love all 3 of my kids together. I have them both. I have Archie and Maddox like under my arms some nights. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to fit a third, right? And I'm like, wait, I'll crisscross applesauce my legs and I'll have the third one in between my legs. Like, I can't wait for it. It's such a oh my God, it like makes me stutter because it's just such a fucking cool feeling to just feel the love that you feel for your kids. It is amazing. And I'm sorry, if you have animals, let me tell you this, you can very much compare it. If that's all you have to compare, the way that you love your dog, the way that you love your cat, the way you love your gerbil, pet snake, whatever the fuck weird shit you have, relative. Okay, it's relative to your situation. But man, if you are someone who is going from like animal parent to like real parent, in a toxic, non-toxic way, you just fucking wait. You know, like the love is just, it's next level, and it's so beautiful. It's so cool. And oh my gosh, it's so special. And I can't wait to experience it again. So I promise it works. That's all I can say. It works. I hope you guys had a beautiful Sunday. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will talk to you next Sunday no matter what, because I'll have another podcast ready. But I kind of hope it's not real time. You know, I kind of hope that by this time I get to rest and recover. So manifesting the 28th, okay? June 28th. I really was manifesting the 25th. I don't think it's going to happen, and that's okay. So the 28th it is. That's my second best guess. And if not, oh my God, bitch, if I see you on 4th of July and I'm pregnant, I'm fucking wringing someone's neck, okay? I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe my podcast. Share this with a friend. Share it with a new mom. Share it with someone who you just think will benefit from it. And thanks for being here.